Hey, it's Soul. And I have a plan, a masterful, insidious plan to learn hundreds, maybe thousands of old raid and dungeon transmog within minutes after the War Within pre-patch arrives, whenever that is. It's actually very straightforward, it's almost a stupidly simple plan, but I'm gonna share it with you anyway, because you might be thinking, no one's crazy enough to do this, right? But I'm here to tell you that I'm pretty crazy, and you and I can be crazy together. So if you don't mind, hit the like button, subscribe for more coverage, and catch me live on Twitch. As you know, in the War Within expansion, or more specifically the War Within expansion pre-patch, warbands will allow players to unlock transmog appearances even if the character unlocking them cannot use them. The exception is with class-specific gear, but that's another conversation for another day. In a number of developer interviews and an official blog post that can never be taken back because I have recordings, we can now say with confidence that appearances for items that you already possess will unlock retroactively. And here's a quote from the blog post. Existing gear in your character level bank or bag inventory will be automatically added to your transmog collection when you first log into that character. Meaning, if you have a mage that, for some reason held on to some rare two-handed axe when the pre-patch drops, you will unlock that two-handed appearance for your account. And it sounds like that should be a given, and now we're just reassured that it is a given. I could say now, with like 99% confidence, that if I happen to have a few pieces of loot in my mailbox, like they appeared there because I never looted the dungeon or the raid boss, on patch day, I should be able to open that mailbox and unlock all of those appearances. As you know, important loot that you forget to pick up will be sent to your mailbox as kind of a courtesy. You can receive unlimited mail, but the mail expires after 30 days. There are exceptions to when the game sends you loot, namely the loot needs to be important enough. Also, bind on equip items will not be sent over. And that's okay. Like this plan of mine, it's not foolproof, it's not super clean, and there is a risk that this will not work. I'm confident, I'm just not blind to disappointment, but boy, it's going to be a great way to start your cross-transmog farming adventures with, by dropping this bomb. And odds are good that in the 30 or so days before this transmog unlocking becomes available, I'm probably not going to be doing too much in my World of Warcraft day-to-day. Thanks for the long-winded intro. Let's talk about how to unlock a ton of transmog. And again, just one more warning, there's a risk that this plan won't work out. I'm simply sharing my plans with you. There are two paths to take. You can do one or the other or both. One route is to prepare a champion, an efficient and ruthless transmog farming champion. I have a speed farming guide linked in the description that gives the basics on how to get one started pretty cheaply, but here's the TLDR. A druid or a demon hunter make for great speed farming characters for legacy content because they have strong inherent abilities and the important pieces of gear to increase your speed are easier to get than with other classes. But ultimately you could just choose the class that you want. I happen to choose a paladin because, like I said earlier, I'm a little bit crazy. Fast characters blow through old dungeons and raids faster, and that's the whole idea. Any way to shorten your travel time or to make these long runs through instances feel better helps a ton in the long run. The other path is to prepare a small army of alts. That would be nice if they're also geared with a speed set, but it's not really necessary. You can have as many as you need, but not too many, and I'll explain why later. Whether you have a champion or an army or both, here's what you do. 30 days before the pre-patch, run old dungeons and raids, killing every boss and not looting anything. Then, on patch day, get on all those characters, open up your mailboxes, and collect a ton of transmog. And that's it. Thanks for coming. There's more to it, of course, and I'm happy to explain. As said, if you don't loot a boss, that loot will be thrown into your character's mailbox. Mail that is sent this way takes 30 days for it to expire, so logic dictates that as long as I time it right, I can save up to 30 days worth of raid and dungeon drops across a bunch of characters with no storage limit that I know of. That's potentially a lot of gear. I practiced this a little while back, and over the course of a few days, I kind of went ham farming up old drops and ended up with thousands of pieces of loot. Now, only a handful of it unlocked transmog for my well-established and seasoned paladin, but how much more could I have unlocked instead? And what if I used more than one character? The job of the champion transmog farmer is for general mass farming. Hey, which raid on raid finder difficulty am I going to do today? How about all of them? Or what dungeon today? Okay, let's do Legion. Oh, actually, which Legion dungeon? All of them. Just have this character bounce around kind of randomly until you're tired or until you hit the 10 instance per limit restriction that is shared across the account. You want to be careful of that. There is a merit to being efficient, but you can be too efficient. You gotta kind of strike a balance if you want to farm all day without taking breaks. Dungeons are faster to clear than raids, which means you're going to hit that instance limit faster. The Battle of Mount Hyjal is way much slower than, like, say, Obsidian Sanctum or Nixia. The job of your Transmog army is to focus on certain instances because there's like a special little something that you want, or you've barely collected any Transmog in a particular spot. A little strategy is in play here because you have only so many pieces, or you only have so many alts to distribute, and in the case of unlocking class-specific appearances, you want to have the right alts in the right place. The key to this tactic is that these alts aren't going anywhere during this 30-day period. There's no traveling for them. You just pop on, you clear, you leave the instance, and then you log out because you're done for the day or for the week. Now let's say you want to farm up like the Tomb of Sargeras. Cool. You can send a portion of your army there and then have each character one at a time blast through the parts of the raid that you care about, and then go from one character to the next for as long as the game allows you to, and you're doing this like once per week. Now, maybe you're looking to complete the warrior set from there. Cool, now you just want to make sure that your alts are comprised of warriors if you happen to have multiples of those. The idea is to have a bunch of these alts staged at your instance choice so they can get right to work. There's no wasting time with like going back to town and then clearing out your bags. We're just here to blindly and recklessly farm, knowing that you're going to be unlocking a ton of stuff once this patch drops. Try to commit to this in the 30 days before the pre-expansion patch launches, whenever that is. The date isn't set in stone. All we have is speculation, and I do that a lot, but I'm not going to speculate here and give you this false sense of security. I just want to tell you, keep an eye out. What we're trying to do is take advantage of this short time period where you can do a lot of Mog farming, legacy Mog farming to be specific, while waiting for the new expansion. The mailbox trick lets us worry much less about hoarding items in our inventory and just concentrating on the farm. The day of the pre-patch is going to be kind of a long day because you're going to be spending most of it opening up mail and offloading tons and tons of gear. It is going to take a while. It might be to a point where you'll want to open up mail that's close to expiring first, but this all depends on how much farming that you actually do. There are a few add-ons to suggest to help you out with this whole endeavor. All the Things is a very intense add-on that tells you what you don't have and also where to get it. It's normally set to track appearances for your immediate character, but you can set it to where you can track all appearances across all characters. Use this add-on to plan a strategy for your champion and your army, and then begin placing your pieces ahead of the 30-day limit. Aardvark is my add-on of choice when it comes to auto-selling legacy gear. You actually want to be a little bit careful because you might accidentally sell legacy gear that's actually high-level Mythic Plus or Time Walking raid pieces that you're actually using, and this add-on does not do item level filters. I still use it though because with the push of a button I can add an entire dungeon or raid loot table to my sell list. I just need to change the filters here to show all items. When it's sell time with Aardvark turned on and it's set up properly, opening a vendor will have you auto sell like 90-something% of the gear that you're getting, so it doesn't get everything. You just want to pick and choose later on. So it's pretty important that your character's bags are almost totally cleared out. In fact, I would suggest being a little bit paranoid and consider throwing even your equipped gear into your bank, because there's always that freak chance you may accidentally put on a piece of legacy gear and then vendor your real equipment. It would be a great inconvenience, right, to restore that item, especially when you might be vendoring thousands of items in a single day. So that's my plan, to have a few alts stationed outside raids or dungeons where I can focus farm for Transmog and prepare my main with a speedrunning set, and then in the weeks leading up to the pre-patch, just farm like a crazy person. The army is just going to camp instances so I can save on travel time, while my main, who has the most flexibility, will be traveling to like multiple spots. And then on patch day, I'm going to have a big old Transmog unlock party with the stream. And now, I wouldn't call this a guide. Don't think of this as a guide, I just hope this helped give you some insight anyway. Please like the video to support the channel, subscribe for more coverage, catch me live on Twitch, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.